Thanks so much for tuning into this very special episode of Profit Insights. I'm Neeraj Shah, and we are in conversation with somebody who looks at markets, macros, economy, policy, and a lot more with an experienced eye, like very few others might have. I'm talking about Mr. Vallabh Bhanshali. He's with us, and in fact, we are at his office to try and understand how does he gauge the scenario now for the next 5 years post the government formation. Mr. Bhanshali, thank you so much, sir, for talking to us.
My pleasure, absolutely.
So I want to start off with this whole thing that everybody, whether who's watching markets, economy, or policy, is wondering as to what could happen because it is a quote-unquote coalition government. Do you have any thoughts here?
Sure. So I think we cannot look at coalition without its leadership. So if you look at India's history over the last 30 odd years, we have had many coalition governments. So you see a coalition government with a strong leader, or you see a coalition government with a weak leader. And the moment you reflect through this prism, you can see that a coalition government with a strong leader had done very well. If you look at the change that the first major coalition government, 1991, Mr. Narasimha Rao, there's his history today. He gave India the economic or the large dose of economic freedom. We became independent really due to Mr. Narasimha Rao. Then you had Mr. Vajpayee, who had a coalition government, but a strong leader with clear head, etc. Then we had a coalition government for a long time, but maybe the leadership was divided or whatever, etc. And so they built on the momentum provided by Mr. Vajpayee, but they lost their way somewhere and whatever happened. And then we had this big slump from 2011-12 onwards, which, went on for a long period of time. And now we have Mr. Modi, a strong leader. And they look at the kind of statements that have come in the last 4 days from his partners, from the world, etc., that, oh, this is so much more to look forward to instead of, being worried about.
Right.
And I am a lot into nature, and I try and read those signals. And I clearly see this, that if had nature wanted Mr. Modi to be defeated, it was easy. Nature has said, I've given you a shock. I have not defeated you. So I think Mr. Modi, knowing him, he is going to take this very seriously, and he looks forward to, and we can talk more about it, that how many good things do I see out of this kind of government. So I think I have zero worries about this coalition and the partners that he has got, and particularly Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is the original progress thinker of this country.
True.
Way back 25 years or maybe more, he was the one who was building the metro in Hyderabad, the electronic city, the new airport and whatnot. So to have two of them together with the major partners, I think speaks wonders about what to expect.
So what's your view on, let's say, it might be difficult to pencil in 1 year, but what's your view on growth for India over the next 5 years? Maybe you can even couple where we are in the Indian growth cycle currently. I would love to hear your thoughts.
So, we had an investment drought for a long time, almost 10 years of investment drought, then COVID, further exacerbated it. But now you're going to see a massive amount of investment happening. And so that will lead to, different quality of jobs and so on and so forth. And the public government has not lifted its foot from the accelerator. Even in the last vote on account, they have gone from 6.5 lakh odd crores to 10 lakh odd crores. So the government is continuing to spend and the private sector will spend. Some of the changes in the investment patterns, for example, semiconductors was not thought of, they have come in. It's a very different kind of industrial investment because it won't produce that many jobs, but it will create security, it will raise the profile of the country, it will enable far greater innovation because of self-sufficiency, etc., etc. So you are going to see a lot of different kind of investment. You're seeing changes in consumption. So like in the current story, in the last 12 months particularly, a lot of people have observed that the entry-level cars are not selling, entry-level two-wheelers are not selling, but you can sell any amount of luxury cars.
That's true.
The same is happening in housing to some extent and so on and so forth. Yes, this is a rolling effect of what is happening. So the top-level incomes are probably not growing as much as some of the middle income brackets. So where, incomes are becoming double income homes, household incomes are changing, where women are joining the workforce, something is changing, where the geographic cluster is changing, something is changing. So you're seeing a lot of those different patterns, and this is bound to be here for some time. So you won't see more toothpaste being sold, but you will see more shampoo being sold, or not more shampoo, but a holiday being sold, an experience being sold, different quality of homes being sold, more washing machines being sold, and not, maybe a geyser or something. So as we move up, you're going to see a whole consumption pattern, and then you're going to see better quality expectation, more services. I think you have so many growth engines that will fire, not all at the same time. They will happen in a gradual manner, in a certain pattern, depending upon, what the item is and where we are in it. So I think we will have multiple stages of growth for the foreseeable future.
Actually, sorry, I'm squeezing in one more question since you brought in technology. Allow me 3 more minutes. One is because you invoked this technology piece earlier as well. You've seen Indian IT from its heydays, if you will, really from the very nascent stage. So much talk about AI. I heard you say that Indian IT is well placed to take advantage of that. Do you think it can happen? Why? Because Indian IT has been such a large employment avenue as well, right? Do you think that Indian IT can meet the challenges or the opportunities that AI will throw up while being a pole position in terms of providing employment as well? Or is that a variable that is not clear right now?
So question, employment cannot be created artificially.
Right.
Employment has to be viable for the employer for that to happen. So I wouldn't want to get into that.
Okay, fine.
As long as, you make profits and you need people will employ. So I think leaving that out, AI is changing so fast. The world is affected by it. At a time where there's so many geopolitical issues, America wanting to become domestic economy and so on and so forth. Therefore, there's been a double effect of, understanding what to do about it. Given the fact that, uncertainty doesn't last forever, Indian IT companies also were trying to understand. But as has happened with all the previous technologies, it's just a matter of time that they catch up as to what the customer wants, how to deliver it. Fortunately, some of this AI stuff will require serious capital expenditure or chunky expenditure, because you will have to create your own LLMs, you will have to create your training facilities, you will have to create questioning abilities and so on and so forth. And these companies have enough cash to do that.
Got it.
So you will find that in IT, large companies taking big advantage of it. Some of the small ones which are highly specialized, they may also be able to do that. But a lot of the middle may have difficulties. Within the organization also, you are going to see the middle being squeezed, the employment, and therefore it will be a net question. While they let some people go, they will hire new people. So I see this IT on the whole coming out quite nicely in the next 2-3 years.